Hello, Reactor Lab here, and today I will be reviewing the Better Geiger S-2. So before I get into the review, I would like to give a big thank you to Robert from Better Geiger for sending me the S-2 and all of the add-ons for free. Alright, now let's get into the video. But now let's get into the actual review itself. The detector costs $150 by itself, and it will always come with this rubber shockproof case, which I think is very good. That's something that can just protect the device from any falls or any, accidental drops, so that's very good that that's in there. You can add, for an additional $30, the Faraday bag. Here you can see everything resting on top of. It can protect from EMPs or other electrical disarming devices, basically devices made to break or damage electronics. This is made to go up to 100 millisieverts per hour, or 100,000 microsieverts per hour, and it is very, very, very accurate. This is not only energy compensated, but it is mainly an X-ray and gamma ray detector, as well as it can probably detect neutrons and secondary X-rays emitted from high energy beta particles slamming into plastics or metals. But as you can see, it's very nice. It's decently weighty, and it has a very good form factor. I like the way it feels, and also the fact that it is very simple and easy to use. I actually took it out of the box and was immediately able to use it, so that's always nice. Now, to operate the device, it is basically the same as the S2L. You simply go to the back cover and place one or two fingers or your thumb or something over the battery cover and slide it off, opening up the battery compartment. And then you take two batteries and insert them into the detector via the polarity markings. Then you place the back cover over the battery compartment and slide up. To put on the case, simply put the part with the opening up at the top over the top of the detector and slide the back part of the case over the back of the detector. Basically the exact same device operation and menus as the Better Geiger S2L. Pretty much the only difference that I've noticed is there is no counts per second mode on this, but it's made more to give you super accurate dose readings. It is actually still quite sensitive. If I go to counts per minute, you can see background radiation ranges anywhere between 50 to 200 counts per minute. So it is still very, very sensitive, way more sensitive than just like a Geiger counter. As far as the menus go, exact same settings and operation as the S2L. I went more into the menus on the review of the S2L. So if you need to know how to use the settings and stuff, I'd recommend watching my Better Geiger S2L review. But there's since powering on, and it shows you all of the stats there. All time, so this shows you all of the information it's gathered since you've gotten the device. A sleep mode, microsieverts per hour, and millirem per hour. Then back to counts per minute. So one thing I like about this device is this goes up to 100,000 microsieverts per hour, or 100 millisieverts per hour. And one thing I really like about this is it'll still indicate the presence of radiation past what it's meant to measure. It'll say overload and basically tell you that there's more radiation than it can measure. So what this means is if I take a GMC 500 Plus, for instance, into an extreme radiation environment, once it gets past a certain threshold, it won't actually indicate the presence of radiation. The Geiger-Miller tube will saturate, And basically, the GMC 500 Plus will just completely break down and crash, and the Geiger-Müller tubes will stop working until you get back out of that environment. Whereas the S-2, if you brought it into an environment, even if the environment was higher than its already quite high dose rate range, it will still indicate the presence of radiation if you somehow manage to overload this thing. I've actually overloaded my GMC 500 Plus while getting either dental x-rays or arm x-rays, and all of the times this has been in an environment with that much radiation, it just completely stopped working. It showed that there was no radiation, it zeroed out, the screen did weird things as a direct result from the intense radiation of an x-ray machine. This can actually handle them, which I find crazy, because I've actually completely ruined one of my detectors previously. My HFSP3, which is basically an electronic pen dosimeter. Yeah, it wasn't great. It was like $50 from Amazon. It worked, quote unquote, but the high voltage and the intense radiation absolutely destroyed that circuit and the Geiger-Müller tube and stuff. But this does not have those problems. This can go up to an insanely high dose rate and still indicate the presence of radiation. Even once it gets past the level it'll be able to actually give you numbers, it'll still indicate the presence of radiation, which I find amazing. Alright, so here I have a sealed vial with a sealed plastic bag with a tiny piece of uranium ore. I'm more cautious than I need to be, but whatever. So, yeah, I'd say the detector definitely notices that's for sure. Here, I'll mute the sound for a second. But you can see it's at 0.7 microsieverts per hour. So maybe if I put it there, it'll get it to a higher number. Oh yeah. So it looks like right there's the most sensitive. But I'll turn the alarm on just so that you guys know what it sounds like. Alright, I have this container with some pieces of uranium ore, and I have no doubt that at least one of these will set off the alarm. I have 3 samples that are extremely weak and 3 that are quite strong. Let's see. This one is uraninite, I think. Maybe a very weak sample of uraninite. So you can see it definitely notices it. It's not really that strong of a sample though, so this is one of the 3 weaker ones. I'm kind of slowly going to the higher and higher samples. You can see this one's pretty decently strong, actually. Quite a bit of activity for how small it is, that's for sure. Here, stick this down on top of this. So you can see it's quite a spicy source. And then these 2 I'm pretty sure are lower, yeah. This one out of this little batch is the most radioactive. It's mostly uraninite, and as you can hear, it's got a pretty decent amount of activity, so I have no doubt this will trip off the alarm within a few seconds. And maybe if I put it on the bottom there. Yeah, there we go. Now, the fact that this can pick up on such low-grade pieces of uranium ore that quickly is honestly pretty amazing, because this is not really a super strong piece of uranium ore. I will show you what a super strong piece of uranium ore looks like. So what I have in this container is quite strong. I have the alarm off for this source, simply so it doesn't scream super loudly, but yeah. This isn't nearly as scary as, once again, X-ray machine. This isn't really that radioactive. It's medium grade uranium ore. I actually dug it out of the ground. The short that I'm sure a lot of you probably saw, because YouTube has been recommending that one quite a bit. And here you can see we're down at 0.1 microsieverts per hour. And then I stick it on, and we're already at 6, pretty much. So yeah, this is a lot faster, although you do notice that the number is a little bit more inaccurate because the screen is refreshing faster, so it's not quite as accurate as the slow and smooth setting. So if you want higher accuracy, you should keep it on that, but if you want higher sensitivity and faster refresh rate, then I'd recommend the fast and smooth. So, that was a review of the Better Geiger S-2. This is an amazing detector for the price, and if you guys want a detector and you have $150, this is a great option. So yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye. Have a great day and a radioactive week. See ya.